Hello everybody and welcome to a hopefully brief Merlin video. I'm going to do a first impressions of Godzilla Singular Point. I watched the first two episodes and I really wanted to do this one because it's one of those things where I've thought for a long time, and I discussed this with some of my friends, some of my fellow Godzilla fans. The idea that, there haven't really been any Godzilla anime series in all these years since Godzilla's been around and anime's been a thing. Two of the biggest media outputs from Japan are anime and their kaiju films and whatnot. So it just seemed like a logical combination, right? But hadn't really been much in the way of a Godzilla anime, except for, well, something we'll talk about. One thing I wanted to discuss is that I didn't really hear many people talking about this. Like, I saw a couple previews and announcements for it, and I thought there would have been more buzz because it's a Netflix original, and it's Godzilla, and it's an anime, and it seemed bright and colorful and just very anime-esque. But not really too much over here. There wasn't really much buzz, and I was wondering what was up with that. And one of my friends actually brought up the possibility that maybe because there kind of was a little bit of an experiment with that, because I believe Netflix did do that anime trilogy of Godzilla films, so I guess that was the most recent experiment with that. It wasn't really a series, rather a couple films, and they're kind of that 3D CGI version of anime, which I don't think of as traditional anime, and I think that might have been one reason why they weren't so well received, because of the design, which I thought was actually okay. I've certainly seen worse, but the fact that those movies didn't really have as much focus on Godzilla, it was really more of this big sci-fi space opera that kind of sort of had Godzilla in it. I watched the first two movies, and I think I reviewed them for the channel. I'll see if I can link them below if people are curious, but I never finished the third one. I kind of want to, but I never got around to it because I guess that showed how much desire I had to. But Godzilla Singular Point is, at least so far, I've been enjoying it. It has a lot of this powerful energy to it, just a lot of vibrant colors, fluid animation. The dub has really been good. The voice acting is also a lot of energy, but sincerity to it, believability. There's some good dialogue and some humor that's been interjected, but there's also elements of horror and drama, so it seems like a combination of all things Godzilla with an anime flair. So it really seems so far like a good combination like you'd expect. And I was wondering, as I was watching this, okay, I feel like I recognize elements of this animation style. So where have I seen this before? And I saw that at least one of the studios involved was Bones. I was like, yeah, Bones, that makes sense. And I was trying to jog my memory because I admit I don't know anime studios as well as I probably should. But I was like, I know Bones does good stuff. And just quickly looking at their list here, I saw that they've done some things that I've seen and I haven't seen that have some pedigree. I mean, Roxaphon, Wolf's Rain, what I saw of it was good. Eureka 7, Darker Than Black, Soul Eater, Ouran High School Host Club, both Full Metal Alchemist series, Mob Psycho, which I kind of recognize some of that animation in there, Space Dandy 2, Noragami, My Hero Academia. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. Now, brief synopsis. Basically, this does take place, I guess, in the near future. I couldn't really tell until I looked up the description here. But it takes place, of course, in Japan. And it follows these two characters primarily. I believe there is, I think it's Yun Arakawa. And he is this paranormal investigator. And there's also Mei Kamino. And she is the female protagonist. She's a student. And they're both kind of studying different things. Obviously, Yoon's got his supernatural business that he's kind of investigating, like ghost hunting and stuff. And Mai is studying imaginary creatures for her graduate work. So she knows a little bit about mythology and folklore, but also, I guess, about physics and whatnot. And basically, their investigations kind of bring them together. There's this mysterious signal, which also seems connected to this place where Maya's working, which is almost like potentially a secret society that, spoilers, we find out has a lot of records and looks like Godzilla's bones from a long deceased Godzilla are down there. So far from what I've been able to kind of discern from what I've seen is that basically a lot of these creatures may come back. So Godzilla obviously hasn't, been seen, at least not in any recent memory in this series thus far, although it seems like there is knowledge of this potential danger. So I haven't gotten far enough to see exactly if Godzilla has made some appearance that was maybe covered up. So it's kind of too early to say, but there have been some Rodan-type creatures that have been arriving. There was one originally, and ending episode 2, there are swarms of them. And they kind of were investigating some ancient folklore that included a picture of Gojira, and there included Rodans and the sea going red, and what would you know, it was kind of prophetic. The sea turns red. So there's kind of an interesting mythological connection to things and revealing truths about the world. So it's pretty awesome. It's got a little bit of everything you expect in Godzilla. There's obviously some of the themes of man dealing with nature and trying to contend with it, but there might also be some political allegories in there, but also a lot of fun. You get monster fights. Thus far, I feel like I was thinking at first that it was a little bit resistant to that, but once the Rodan creature shows up and fights Jet Jaguar, who is kind of, I think might be sort of the star of this, the one fight we got so far between Rodan and Jet Jaguar, which as kind of janky and clumsy as it was, and on a much smaller scale, they seem much smaller thus far. I wonder if that's going to change. It was actually pretty good. It was well animated, and it was fun, and the part when Jet Jaguar goes flying is pretty hilarious. And his little motions when you find out that the guy's grandson's controlling it, because basically works for this older guy who is the guy that built Jet Jaguar, and he's pretty awesome. He's probably one of my favorite characters, though I also like Man. Yoon also is this kind of sort of a tech genius. He developed this software that is really intelligent AI that has a cute personality. And it's like, no, I really want to help. Don't delete me. I can be useful, and actually helps May with her work and helps improve her studies. So I kind of like that. That AI is kind of a cute character that's not overly annoying. And there's a lot of little touches, kind of about relationships to technology. Like she sends her paper out and it gets hits, and there's somebody that wants to contact her through email because of that. And there was a fun little joke where this one guy was going through with the caretaker looking up old documents in the building, and he's like, I think there's microfiche, go find it. And he doesn't know what a microfiche is, so he goes and finds all these old pieces of technology stuff like projectors, like I remember when I was in school. So I thought that was a fun little bit. Also really like how all the different people react to Rodan, and there's people discussing the policies of it, and there's some disagreements about whether Jet Jaguar should be allowed to be this individual's weapon potentially. So you've got some of that classic superhero argument. People are discussing the scientific nature of it, whether or not they should catch Rodan alive or not. And some people are like just coming to see it because it's almost like a tourist attraction, not considering the dangers. One kid says he wants it as a pet, and people are automatically capitalizing on it, turning into toys and merchandise for Rodan. So it's almost like sort of a commentary on fandom based around the monsters. So I thought that was kind of cool. So there's a lot going on there. And there was one little joke about Kafka, which I thought was pretty funny. When the AI was talking about how she was connected to the PC, and it's like, how would you feel if you woke up and turned into a bug? I thought that was an interesting line. So there's a really good combination of various things to like here. And I will admit that the first episode didn't have me too sold. I thought it was kind of a slow burn, and I got the sense we still haven't seen Godzilla yet. They might build up to him. Though, watching the end credits, I saw that there might be some other monsters. And I'm like, well, I hope that delivers, because that looks really fun. But, yeah, the first episode was a little slow. I wasn't entirely sure what to think about it, but the ending when Rodan showed up got me kind of hooked. And then by the second episode, I was enjoying a lot more. So I'm eager to watch more. I probably will. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts if anybody has watched it. If you'd like me to watch the rest of the series and review it, maybe I'll do a full video some point down the line here. But in the meantime, those are my thoughts on Godzilla Singular Point. It's got a lot of energy, a lot of fun. Seems intriguing so far. There's a good sense of mystery and mythology to it that is kind of reminiscent of some older Godzilla films. And yeah, I think it's honestly pretty entertaining thus far, and I think it's good. Honestly, more enjoyable than those movies they came out with a couple years ago. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for watching, listening. Everybody, stay magical.